Hi, and welcome to another episode of Find Your Alpha podcast. My name is Bookie, and I'm the host. And I've got with me today a very, in fact, I'm going to start with what she just described herself as Noni, because she's a grandmother of 10 kids. She's a filmmaker. She used to be a journalist, but now is a filmmaker. She's here at the Africa Creative Market conference, which is also hosting Women in Film and Television conference, which is happening, soon. And she's sitting here with me today to talk about what it is to be a creative, how to find your voice, how to plot your way as a creative within the marketplace, and of course, how to find your alpha. Alison Richards, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Wookie. It was amazing to meet you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited to be in Nigeria. Nigeria is actually my 46th country.
Your 46th
My
country.
46th country.
I have so much catching up to do.
Yeah, well, I'm a lot older than you, so don't worry. You'll get there. I'm really happy to be here. Tomorrow I'm going to be speaking with women in film, primarily about networking, international collaboration.
Awesome.
So I've made films on 5 different continents.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I have to say, too, my very first camera that I got was a Sony.
Okay.
In 1985.
1985.
It was the VX3, and it was the best camera ever, and that was what made me fall in love with filmmaking. I had a Steadicam rig for it, and I did a lot of music videos. I was living in Vancouver. I did a lot of music videos, but
wow.
I loved that camera, and I am a diehard Sony fan.
Well, you are on the podcast of Find Your Alpha, and this is all about alpha. And I think my journey with Sony really actually started with my parents. My dad has, has been in the film industry, was in the film industry. He's late now. But my dad was a filmmaker, producer, whatnot, and he loved Sony cameras.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it came full circle for me almost about 3.5 years ago when, I joined the Sony family officially, and I was just like, wow, it's come so much full circle in terms of where his journey started and where my journey is going. And understanding is, my understanding now isn't just about, why Sony is so great, but understanding that there's a spirit, like there's a culture behind it.
There's some kind of energy that they're putting into the equipment. Yeah, because I have to admit that there was one point in my life where I bought a competitor's camera, and I was in South America and I was filming in the Amazon. Well, it's very humid there, so I'm in the middle of the Amazon and I'm filming with this camera, and the moisture sensor shut it off, and that was it.
No camera.
Yeah, I started shooting on my phone.
Oh wow!
So I had to keep going. But yeah, then I was like, okay, that was my lesson. Go back to Sony.
Hey, I'll take it. Let's talk a little bit about your journey as a filmmaker and why you even went into filmmaking. What it means for you to be a storyteller, and how that is helping you express what I call the alpha in you.
I guess for me, the beginning was I was working in a corporation, and I had 3 kids, and I found that I was working all the time, and I was coming home with work, and the corporate job was a great job, and I made good money, but my life was always about work. And my kids were really involved in a lot of things, and they had like sports meets, and they had football game and soccer game and all these different things going on, and I wanted to be more involved. So I thought, I'm going to start working from home. And in 1986, I got a home computer, and I was one of the first people to start working from home. And it was really exciting for me. And I started writing, and then I signed up to be an extra in the movies, because I thought, I can do my writing while I'm on the set. And
making a little bit more money as well on the side.
Networking. And while I was on set, then I was watching the camera guys, and I was watching the cinematographers, and I was listening to everything that was going on. So it was like getting a free education, really. And then I got more and more caught up in it. Then I started working at a local TV station.
Okay.
This guy just kind of found me out of nowhere. It was sort of nothing I had planned. It all just happened very randomly.
Okay.
But I think it was just the energy pulling me in.
Yeah.
So I started as a journalist, and I was on a show called Vancouver Now, which was a live-to-air show.
Okay.
And it was wonderful, and I got lots of experience, and I learned about video editing, and we used 3/4-inch tape. Like, this is a long time
I
ago.
remember those.
3/4
I do.
3/4-inch tape, and we had all this massive equipment to carry around. And then I got to the point where I thought, I'm being censored. The things that I want to say, I can't say. The things that I want to do, I can't do.
Right.
I have to follow this very limited structure, and I don't want to do that. So in 1994, I moved to Los Angeles, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be a big filmmaker. And actually, I have to give credit to Women in Film, because I was a member of Women in Film in Vancouver. So when I got to LA, the first place I went was the Women in Film office.
Okay.
And I said, hey, I'm here. I don't have my work visa yet, but I want to do something. Can you tell me where I should go? And they sent me to the school, the American Film Institute, the AFI. And all the students were doing their thesis projects. So I looked on the board, and somebody was looking for a locations manager. I thought, okay, I don't know anything about LA. I'll be a locations manager.
I'll find out about it.
I'll find out, right?
Yeah.
And so I got all the stuff I had to get, and I went and got all the permits, and I did all the stuff. I went back to the production office a couple days later. I said, yeah, I have everything. The guy said, you have everything already? I'm like, yeah. And he says, well, what else can you do? So I ended up being the assistant director. And then from that film, kind of just my whole career just blew open. I mean, really, like, and it was from my first project was volunteering. And so really, when people ask me, like, how do you get started? Like, you have to learn, you have to gain experience.
You do.
But there's also a fine line between becoming a professional volunteer.
Right.
Because what happens, especially in a lot of the bigger industries, nobody wants to pay you.
Yes.
Right? They want you to work for free forever. So now I tell people, I will work on my friends' films for free. I will do them favors, but then they have to come back and work on mine. Right? That's like,
it's going to be an exchange.
That's an exchange.
Of value.
That's an exchange. That's a reciprocation. But like, a lot of people get trapped into this routine of just volunteering. And it's great when you're learning, and it's great when you're getting the experience, but then it comes to a point where you have to step forward and say, okay.
Especially if you want to make a career out of it, right? And you want to be able to scale as a professional, and scale if you're intending to start a business. As a business, you've got to start earning money. And you can't continue to just volunteer. Well,
it's easier now because we have digital equipment, but when I started, we were shooting film. And film is expensive. And processing the film, like, you hear the camera ticking and you think,
time is going.
Cut. But now, like, you can shoot things on digital, and a lot of people have a tendency to overshoot. Because digital's so cheap and it's easy, and you just get a card.
You can easily just cut it and edit.
But so it's finding that balance, 6-to-1 ratio or whatever your deal is.
I would like to really pick up on some of the things that you have said, but not explicitly said, which is really about how important it is as a filmmaker, as a creative, to go out and find the opportunities, because they're not going to come to you.
Well, I mean, for me,
some may.
Yeah.
But if you're not even in a place where you can recognize that it's an opportunity, you'll miss it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, for me, I was really lucky. I'm kind of a do-it-myself sort of a person. And because of the experience I had at the beginning of my career, I learned about lighting, I learned about camera, I learned about audio. At the television studio, actually, I didn't really like the way the cameramen were shooting my pieces, so I said I want to shoot my own stuff.
Right.
So I had to get training on the camera. I had to go through this process in order to be able to do my own stuff. I got trained on the editing equipment, and then when I went into film, it was quite the same.
Easy.
I actually even attended the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Wow.
Because I wanted to be, not because I wanted to be a better actress, but I wanted to be a better director and a better producer. So understanding more, like, what is the process? I made myself take musical theater. I'm not a singer and a dancer. It was seriously the most painful thing I've done in my life.
I can imagine.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, I'm so dyslexic, and I'm backwards. Like, everybody's going this way in the chorus line, and I'm going that way. But I made myself do those things so that I could be better at my job. But it comes to a point where you say, okay, I've learned this, and I've learned this, and I've learned this. Now I just have to get going.
Right.
But I just made my own projects. I just started by making my own projects. And you make something, and then your friends are like, oh, yeah, hey, can you come and work on my film? And I'm really blessed because a lot of the people that I've worked with over the years now have, like, these amazing careers.
Right.
One of the girls, Miranda Kawaka, who was a stunt performer on one of the films that I produced years ago, she's now got one of the #1 shows on television in the United States called The Cleaning Lady.
Wow.
And so I've watched a lot of my friends and a lot of my colleagues
progress and become successful.
It's not an easy career.
It's not.
It's one of the. I mean, like people. You know, I remember certain members of my family and some people saying to me, "When are you going to get a real job?" But this is a job.
Well,
right?
the times have changed now.
Yeah.
And you can it's so much more easier to track the progress.
Yeah.
If you're putting in the work,
Yeah.
the results will show.
Yeah.
The work will speak for you.
Yeah.
It's so much easier now. And in either way, talking about finding these collaborations and these connections and going out and making these networks, now that we even have, such a global audience and a global market, somebody in Nigeria, for instance, could be called, which has happened several times, could be called to America to shoot a film.
Exactly.
Somebody in I don't know, Zimbabwe, for instance, can be recognized and asked to come and do something in China.
Yeah.
So there's so much more. I think there's so much more, not just variance, but also so much more freedom, and a lot more easier metrics to track your progress as a filmmaker, as a creative within the community.
Well, the world has gotten smaller.
Yes.
It's gotten much smaller. And it's interesting that you're saying this because now my focus in the last 5 years has been mostly on writing.
Okay.
I'm a storyteller. I come from a family of writers, and I love writing. And when I'm writing now, I'm writing for an international audience.
Right.
Because I've lived and worked in different places, I think, okay, the audience is the world. I don't think of the audience as being Hollywood.
Or Bollywood.
Or Bollywood or
Nollywood.
Nollywood. It's like we have this global audience, and I'll write a story. Like I have one story that takes place in South Africa,
Right.
but it's a couple from Germany, and then so there's all these elements. And I have another story that's I originally wrote it for California to be shot in California, but then I thought, oh, this would be really cool if I changed the dynamics. And I have this guy that he's Romani, which is like the gypsies in Europe, and they're being kicked out from country to country, and him and his mother are like trying to find a place where they can be. So, you can adapt your ideas to this global
fit
idea.
The different audience.
And so that's really where I'm focusing now is, and I'm really enjoying. Last year, I wrote a television series for India. like it was this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was this crazy thing, but it was a dark comedy. Well, my comedy is much different than Indian comedy. Like I have North American humor, but the Indian humor is more like physical kind of humor. So I was watching all these shows on Netflix. And that's the other thing too is as filmmakers, as writers, as creative people, we have a lot more material available to us easily.
Yeah.
So I started studying like what are all the top Indian shows? And why are they important? Why are they popular?
Right.
And what can I say and what can I not say? What are the rules here? So I started getting into that. And the world has gotten smaller. But our palette has gotten bigger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just going to say the world has gotten smaller, but our world has gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, like I said, there's so much more variety. There's many more cultures that you can tap into, and many more audiences you can tap into. And I think it's so important as creatives. Just speaking from a Nigerian or maybe an African perspective, for us to understand that our world is the world is accessible to us. And we're not just writing, even when you say that you're shooting films or you're shooting content for a Nigerian specific audience, your content is being consumed by everyone around the world. And so there's got to be, you've got to be able to tap into those opportunities that it presents to you. And I think that it requires some level of, I don't know, mind opening, mind shifting, just sort of thinking beyond your borders, thinking outside the box, and actually believing that you can capture a global audience.
Well, if you have something unique and interesting to say, people are going to want to hear it. Doesn't matter where they're from. Doesn't matter where they're from. Yeah.
Plus, you've got subtitles. If they don't understand your language, put it in subtitles. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of communication is body language and tone.
Yes.
And you can tell a story without any dialogue. This is one of the things that I really love about a lot of independent films. There's so little dialogue in a lot of them. Much more minimal. Like Hollywood does all blah, 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 blah. They tell you everything. Well, I don't want to be told everything. I want to build my own picture. I want to think, oh, what's that guy thinking about right now? What's going on between this two? I don't want somebody to explain it to me, right? Like, I want to make my own story. Yeah. And what's really interesting me talking about this international thing, when I was in South America, everybody was watching Korean drama.
Oh gosh.
So like they're all
Korean
Spanish.
dramas everywhere in Nigeria now as well.
This is like the big thing now. And I got really hooked. I was started binge watching all these shows. But it was the music and the production design and the acting was so amazing. Yeah, like huge budgets. Like I'm not making projects like that, but it was, to me, it was really interesting how popular they were internationally. Yeah. So
I mean, quirky question.
Okay.
I would say maybe. Would you consider yourself an alpha?
I would definitely say yes. I'm an alpha.
What makes you feel like you're an alpha?
I think I've never been a follower.
Right.
And I've always done my own thing. I've always had my own drum beating my own my own rhythm. And I don't know. I mean, I don't wait to see what other people are doing.
You just go ahead.
I don't question. I just do. Yeah. Like if I'm interested in something, I just go and do it. And if I don't know how to do it, I teach myself, or I find a way, or I look at something.
And you learn.
I'm really bad at asking for help.
So you make sure you figure it out.
To me, that's like the biggest failure is when you have to ask for help. But really, it's not. Like I'm having to learn. Like it's okay to ask for help.
Right.
And that's what I tell young filmmakers. And I also do mentoring as well. And I think it's really important. I've gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience over the years, and it's my responsibility to give some of that back.
Right.
The same way that other people have shown me. So I'm definitely an alpha.
Awesome. So you said you've shot films in 5 different continents, right?
Yeah.
You planning a film in Nigeria anytime soon?
Like I've got 2 scripts that are for Africa.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to make something specially for Nigeria, though. I've gotten some ideas.
Or maybe a co-production.
I've only been here for 3 days.
So this is your first time in Nigeria?
This is my first time in Nigeria, yeah. And I really want to go out into the nature. I'm a nature person, so I really love, all the cities in the world are the same. They have the same things. They all have the same chain stores. It's kind of, it's the Western influence is in all the cities. And for me, it's when you go out to the villages, or you go to the farmland, or you go to the seashore, and you see more the real. And that's what I want to see. I want to go and experience the real Nigeria, not the westernized Nigeria. But I'm loving the food and I'm loving the people.
Awesome.
It's been a great experience so far.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's been really awesome speaking to you, Alison. Thank you so much for stopping by and talking to me on the podcast.
Thank you so much, Bookie. All right.
And have a great time.
I'm having a great time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's us done on Find Your Alpha podcast, episode 2. Take it easy. Bye.